Okay, excuse my excitement, I've just always wanted to say this. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends and their recently premiered animated limited series called Raid Call of the Arbiter. Raid Call of the Arbiter is an animated series published weekly every Thursday at 10 AM EST until July the 20th, which you can watch for free in-game. So far, this series has had great success, with over 5 million views on just episodes 1 and 2, with thousands of positive comments. It wouldn't be a stretch to say people are loving Raid Call of the Arbiter, including me. I have to say that some of the cuts of animation used during these fight scenes have been really impressive so far. Watching Galax sprint down rooftops as he dodges arrows running towards a boat, and then his subsequent fight against his father on the boat, translated into such stellar animation and backed with a score by Jesper Kide, had me really impressed. And cuts like these are seen all throughout the episodes we've had so far. Alongside this though, Raid is also releasing lore videos and behind the scenes content on their YouTube. That paired with the limited series expanding on the world and lore of Raid, exploring the backstories of many of the champions seen within the game, gives you a ton of content to chew on. And while this limited series continues to air, Raid Shadow Legends continues to celebrate it, providing a bunch of Call of the Arbiter related features within games, new champions, more lore connected to the series, and a bunch of activities you can still take part in. To say the least, there is a boatload of new stuff for old and new Raid fans alike to sink their teeth into, live right now so you can jump in and start from the beginning. And if you log into Raid for 7 days between now and July the 24th, you will receive Artak, one of 5 new characters from the show, as a playable legendary champion in-game for free. And for those of you new to Raid Shadow Legends, use my link in the description down below or scan my QR code on screen to get insane bonuses including the epic champion Drake and many other useful gifts. And once you're in-game, you can find me under the name HarleyTBS and join my clan by the name of HarleyTBS. With that being said, thank you to Raid for sponsoring this video, hit my link in the description, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Hey, welcome back to a brand new video. I'd like to bring up here that this video is being recorded while I'm in Florida, so some aspects of it might be slightly jank, and you're just gonna have to get used to it. This isn't the quality I expect to maintain, but I'm on holiday, having a good time, you know how it is. Also, expect in the coming weeks that videos will become very sporadic. I'm moving into my own house, so I have no idea how that experience is going to affect the flow of content. Anyway, last time I talked about IIlluminaughtii, it was surrounding their allegations towards Legal Eagle's editors of plagiarizing some of their editing styles, and their subsequent response video to allegations levied against them of plagiarism, and several other things that I didn't discuss in my last video, because I had a feeling more information was going to come out, and as I expected, it did. So today, we're here to revisit the IIlluminaughtii situation, talk about some of the things I didn't discuss, other people's responses to IIlluminaughtii's video, and some of the cease and desist that she allegedly sent to those people. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do, subscribe, all of that jazz, and with that being said, let's get right into it. This all started because quite a while ago, Blair and a few other content creators owned a group channel called Sad Milk, where they would respond to Reddit videos, react to them together, have a laugh, and things seemed to be doing pretty well, until they all went their separate ways, and every video on the channel was removed. Now, nobody really knew what had gone on behind the scenes that had led to the channel being taken down, until Blair got into drama with the Legal Eagle, and every other creator involved in Sad Milk slowly started coming out and telling their story about their experiences with Blair, leading to Blair making a response in her video, and on a lot of occasions, seemingly lying about their involvement with the channel, about the decisions they made, and about the actions of other public figures, spreading misinformation about them, and digging herself a dreadfully deep grave.
I want to take a couple minutes to bring up the Click and the many claims that he made on Twitter recently. The Click brings up how, as he puts it, a very convenient series of videos resurfaced with him saying some not so savory things after he left Sad Milk. His old videos, as he puts it, aged like milk. They did. I'm not going to dive into it further. The information's out there if you so choose to look. And as Click stated, those videos are 11 to 14 years old. And to be perfectly clear here, those videos are not any of the reasons as to why we split ways in Sad Milk, as Click tries to insinuate. Even back in 2020, I had stated that those videos had nothing to do with the ending of Sad Milk. I was actually unaware of those videos at the time of our friendship, but had I been aware of them, that friendship would have likely ended sooner.
It is at this point in the video where you realize that Blair is not going to be honest about anything she discusses. She talks about allegations against the Click of using slurs or other unsavory phrases, as if she's completely uninvolved with any of its discussion, and as if she was unaware of it at the time she disbanded Sad Milk or went different ways with the clique. This is categorically untrue and shows that she is not going to give you the full story. As the clique showed in his video, there are messages of Blair in private chats in 2020 where she discusses these unsavory comments the clique made with a group of censored names, with her even bringing up the Sad Milk announcement and saying that some fans are, quote, putting it together. In these chats, you can see Blair blatantly spreading evidence against the clique to cancel him. And she brings up in this chat examples of the clique saying the R slur and says that she is disgusted. And the other people excusing it because the clique did it 10 years ago is not a valid defense because, as Blair says, she is the same age as the clique. And that word wasn't ever in her vocabulary. Not 10 years ago, not now. Except in this screenshot a year before she said this, where it was in her vocabulary. It's just bizarre. She pretends to be good friends with this guy, and behind the scenes, she's spreading all of these claims about him and trying to ruin his rep. Someone this disingenuous cannot be trusted, and I see where people are drawing their creepshow art comparisons. But what comes next has to be the worst part, and it's simply not even close. Blair had secret accounts, alt accounts, that she didn't link to her main accounts, where she was actively going after the clique, someone she knew, constantly berating him, spreading all of these claims about him, etc. All under some other random alt account, for years. This is insane! And the fact that Blair would do this is beyond my comprehension. Why would you ever, as a creator with this much success, with all the money in the world and the success you could ever ask for, make secret alt accounts because you're so petty you feel the need to go after people you used to be associated with for one reason or another because I guess you didn't get along in private? It's ridiculous.
Here's another little funny post from the same account where she forgot to switch accounts and interacting with the Animal Crossing subreddit, at least according to Oz. Here it keeps going. Hey, listen, Blair, I'm putting this all together. What kind of cover-up is this? Click was saying these bad things, created differences. Click is a liar. And not to claim some one topic is friends with someone while pretending to be wholesome and good. This is all Blair replying to her own announcement under an alt account. And it keeps going. Click said the N-word and replies and claiming I'm not going to reply and I'm horrible. Here is a long post. I'm not gonna... You can pause it if you want to read the whole thing. I don't want to. Here is the same account, Doobieschmerz on Twitter. This was an account I remember distinctly from 2020, 2021 that was relentlessly harassing myself, my friends, my colleagues, my streaming colleagues, past colleagues, ex-Sad Milk members, community members, staff, you name it. You name it.
And do you want to know the craziest part? This isn't where it ends, as Blair then goes on to start paying people hundreds of dollars to dig up dirt, to find clips of the clips saying bad things, so that she can, I guess, use her secret alt account to expose him. It's crazy. She's been doing this for years behind his back. Genuinely, how depraved do you have to be?
I will be brief here, because there isn't really much substance. She claims I was tossing around slurs when gaming with friends. The only evidence she has in a group chat where she's talking to Aziwazi, among a few others. So it isn't an actual receipt of anything I did or said. It's not even a conversation I'm in, but just a few anonymous names venting in a group chat. However, to try to make sense of this, I actually asked Oz about this screenshot directly, and he had this to say. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the R-slur thing was about. I not only don't have any memories of it, but would only have to assume based on my past actions that I either A. over-embellished to further feel accepted of the tone of one instance, never of course realizing the damage it would cause. I'm sorry about this if that is the case. B. Blair and I had discussions in relation to this and had created a behind-the-scenes narrative of what to say. This was also very common when we lived under the same roof. C. There was also watching how Blair would twist and omit truths to people. While I don't have any direct proof of this, I will say that watching Blair just say the right amount of truth to people to get their praise and adoration may have swayed me to do the same. edit. There's also a chance that you said this like way back in 2019. I think the language I used in the group chat was more to put distance between us, not great on my part. It would have to be one of those, or a mix, honestly, because I don't remember you saying it. Not saying it didn't happen, of course, but I don't have any memories of it. I'm sorry for the pain that comment cost, man. Apologies will never, of course, repair the actions that I have made, and when all this went down. I'm sure there is more shitty things I've done or said that I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember.
I think it's really telling that even the people who are supposed to be supporting Illuminaughtii and what she's saying here, the people in the screenshot she's showing in her videos, are speaking out apologizing for their involvement with anything she said or did, and saying that they don't really know what she's talking about, or that she's often twisting a lot of the truths of situations to present it the best way for her, and that they don't agree with the presentation within the video. Not a good sign.
The Click and I had shared Discord moderators around the time of Sad Milk being created. Due to the Click's inaction, our shared moderators had brought a situation in his server to my attention, a situation involving pedophilia. In Click's Discord, there was a 19-year-old bragging about a 12-year-old that he was claiming to be involved with. A moderator reached out to get more information on this situation. This 19-year-old then reiterates, and I am directly quoting this here, "I talked with my therapist about it, even too, and he told me as long as I don't touch her, it's okay." Click and his team did not pursue any immediate action to ban, restrict, or report this individual.
Except this once again is completely untrue, as the exact same day this predator was brought to the attention of the staff, they were removed from the server. I don't know why she would lie about this, considering it is the least difficult to disprove claim ever made. You just open the audit logs and right there it says that it was done and the date it was done, but this just seems to never end.
Hello there, it's Click from the future here. I was just finishing editing this video where I got a few more things from ex-staff of hers and other people that have burned that bridge. The first couple screenshots is from one of her ex-admins showing that they did indeed reach out to me about the issues in the Discord, and here is me confirming that I did indeed address it. Here is that same person talking to Blair about the information in the Discord, claiming that I did indeed take action when the information reached me.
I guess I just struggle to understand how she continues to be caught in so many lies. You would think that someone who lies this much would be better at covering up their tracks. But yet, she lies about things so easy to disprove, as the Click did not address this big issue in his server, except people have shown me proof that he did address this issue as soon as he woke up and was made aware the issue existed. I feel like continuously lying to your audience this way is the easiest way to ever lose any kind of trust you had with them. Because audiences will tend to take the side of someone even if that person is, by the perspective of most people, in the wrong. But if you blatantly lie to them, they're gonna struggle to find any reason to take your side, even if they think what you're saying makes sense. And this is way too easy to disprove for anyone to understand or agree with Blair here. Blair went around for months telling anyone who would listen about this, that the Click had allowed some kind of predator in his server for months, even though it wasn't true. She capitalized a predator allegation so that she could ruin the reputation of some guy she didn't like. Can you describe a scummier person if you tried?
When I woke up, the staff spaces were in chaos. I assume she had asked her crossover staff to leave my server after the two teams clashed, fighting, tossing around odd allegations, and blame. Keep in mind, the creep that joined the VC was already banned for many hours. And this is what I saw when I woke up in the morning. Tons of messages in staff chats, arguments, white names from people leaving. I tried to get an explanation to what had happened, and it took me a good few hours to dig through everything, talk to people, try to de-escalate, and evaluate who had done wrong, and so on. The situation recap wasn't exactly presented to me on a silver platter.
Following this, Blair would then talk to the Click in DMs and say she was proud of him for how he handled this situation. I don't think I could describe a harsher shift in how she responds to something publicly versus privately than this. In her video, she describes how disgusting his handling of this situation was, telling a complete fib about all of it, and then in private, she's so proud of him for how he handled it and thinks that he really did the right thing. I just struggle to understand any of this. Why would you lie knowing that you're going to be called out for it unless you're intentionally trying to self-sabotage your own career? I don't believe that she could have possibly done this, not realizing how bad it looks for her.
In fact, this was right off the heels of one of his admins sharing pornographic content to people that they knew were minors. One thing that I would like to point out here is how these users were pushing pornographic materials to a minor who explicitly states that their parent is in the room with them, so they were hiding their phone. I would like to point out that a common tactic for abusers who are attempting to groom children is that they expose them to pornography and other sexual content in an attempt to desensitize the child.
I cannot describe how ridiculous the characterization of the click is in IIlluminaughtii's video. Going straight from claiming that he allowed some predator to remain in his server for months, which wasn't true, to discussing that he was allowing some guy in his server who was sending material to a minor is crazy, and the kind of narrative she's trying to paint here is very disingenuous. I don't know why she would do this. I've said that a few times in this video, so I think the point is pretty clear. But once again, it's just blatantly a false claim, and at this point I'm getting tired of listening to Blair try and use any kind of excuse she can make to clear her own name of any kind of allegations or bad press by lying about others. There is no kind of respect for anyone else. There is no kind of honesty or transparency here. It's completely whatever narrative she can spin to make herself look best and everyone else look as bad as possible.
This specific individual was removed from the team by me. The individual had been slowly spiraling, starting off with passive-aggressive behavior towards other staff and minor misdemeanors. When they failed to improve their behavior after a feedback session, and also got worse when they started sharing not safe for work artwork in staff chats, they were removed. I think it's an important specification that it was lewd artwork and not real life.
Having to relook at these messages again still makes my stomach turn, even 3 years later. When Click didn't initially take action, I switched tactics with him and I called One Topic, who was and still is, to my understanding, one of the Click's closest friends on social media. I got into a call with both of them and I shared these files with them, and One Topic opened the files, he was horrified, and he said, and I quote, "I've read one and I don't want access to those screenshots." It was after this conversation that Click took action and reported and removed that individual from his server. I really wouldn't lightly make accusations like this unless I had seen them for myself. And let me be abundantly clear here, I am not trying to accuse the Click of pedophilia, nor do I have any reason to believe that he could be a pedophile. However, he cultivated an environment that was a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior with minors to occur, and that's exactly what happened. Having our shared moderators approach me in my server about this very serious situation in his server was extremely uncomfortable, but something the moderation team felt needed action that was not being taken. Furthermore, referring to these shared moderators that we had as spies, as he said on Twitter, it only dismisses the fact that he allowed this explicit language to occur around minors. He referred to them as spies, which only shows that he didn't really see any issue with the state of his server.
Let's just continue on.
At the end of Blair's video, she has what appears to be a heartfelt cry regarding your friendship. This section is roughly 3 minutes. She goes into detail about you, Casper, better times, and involves hobbies, etc. Would you like to share your thoughts on what you felt or thought when you first saw this?
There's not really a nice way that I can actually say this. I've watched her build those tears up on multiple occasions, whether it's she forgot she had a prior engagement, so she built up tears and said, I have to take Casper to the vet and I'm very scared, so I won't be able to make it, or for talking to other content creators that she's had issues with of welling up those tears for apologies, for talking with employees, for talking with me or her roommates. It's something that I have watched her do on numerous occasions. If they were genuine, I mean, there's that, but I have a really hard time believing it with how many times I've actually seen her build those tears up.
I think when literally everyone who would have no reason otherwise to speak out against you is saying that you have made a mistake, you need to acknowledge that you're the one in the wrong. There are so many different angles to this situation, and none of them present Blair in a good light. That clip, by the way, was from a several hour long video by Wonderstruck, who is someone who used to live with Blair and also worked with Blair in the past, who talks about several other issues they have with Blair. You should watch their video and hear what they have to say, because it is very important and touches on several important aspects of Blair's life that aren't discussed or presented fairly by Blair in Blair's video. Especially considering Blair sent a cease and desist to Wonderstruck for making this video. So, you might not even be able to watch it for a long period of time. It doesn't look good for you when you start cease and desisting people for telling their side of the story. But I'm sure Blair will try and justify it as she has done with every other thing she's tried to do so far, seeing as she's posted tweets saying the following. Hey everyone. I am fully aware of the recent false allegations that have surfaced. I want to take a moment to publicly state that I am taking these allegations seriously and am committed to rectifying this situation promptly and appropriately. I understand the concerns and potential impact that these false allegations have caused. My team and I are actively working behind the scenes to gather all relevant facts, and I am committed to transparency and accountability throughout this process. Rest assured that I'm taking decisive action to address the situation. I will provide updates and communicate any necessary actions as soon as possible. Thank you to those who are standing by me during this challenging time. I will not allow these false allegations to be weaponized as a way to silence my voice. I appreciate your patience and understanding during this challenging time. I am dedicated to upholding my channel's values and delivering on our commitments. I am confident that the truth will prevail. Sincerely, Blair. So, take that as you will. With that being said, I've been HarleyTBS. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to support content like mine. Don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description down below, or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses for new players with free epic champions. Thank you to Raid for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.